What's up, guys? Nolan here, and I think the extraction shooter genre, if you want to call it a genre, is on life support. Sure, there'll be some games that stay afloat and a couple that genuinely are good, but if there's only a handful of games out there from small studios, while only a couple are considered successful in that pool, is that even really a genre? We've all seen what smaller independent game studios can do, but there has not been a single AAA studio that has been able to fully capture the risk to reward experience we get from our favorites to make us not only want to come back and play, but make us keep coming back. As you know, I've been searching across the gaming universe for new extraction shooters as they pop up, and one has caught my attention that I think we all are going to need to know more about, but not for being like Escape from Tarkov, actually the opposite, and we will get more into that later. Today, I'm going to be sharing some details about Exoborne, the next upcoming game from Sharkmob, a Swedish game studio founded in 2017 by some of the original core team of The Division, and with more than 400 developers, they have the capacity of a AAA studio. So, with the minds that brought the original vision of The Division to life, a focus on the extraction shooter gameplay and the capacity to really make it big is something that we haven't seen yet in this genre. Of course, have to hit you with the TLDR here. It's an open world vertical extraction shooter on Unreal 5 with a not post-apocalyptic environment, but the world is literally falling apart, with extreme weather being a significant obstacle, and it is being brought to life by, again, the core team that developed The Division. Now, before we go into details, I have to be clear that this video is sponsored by Sharkmob. I had no idea Exoborne existed until they reached out, and they also wanted to endorse me to do a dedicated video, so here we are. With that being said, doesn't mean I'm going to hold back, and that's going to start with me saying that they haven't shown any real gameplay yet. Gameplay is king to me, and I need to see that before I really fully endorse anything. These trailers and the details I'll share aren't enough for me to get in line, but as you'll learn, it's enough for me to keep an eye on it, which is essentially all they're asking for, really. The next thing is this isn't for Escape from Tarkov diehards. If you only like Escape from Tarkov, you probably will not like this game. They are only going to be comparable by the fact that there's guns you need to extract in order to quote-unquote win. There's PvP and PvE, while essentially everything else will play and look differently. On the other hand, if you are someone who has been able to enjoy other extraction shooters, I implore you to go to the wishlist for Exoborne on Steam right now, and do keep an eye on it, because given what we have so far, it's absolutely worth that. There's also a Discord link below, and you can follow there too. The reason why I'm saying that is because it sounds really cool. If you guys have caught any of my streams of beautiful light playtests that I've been doing recently, then you'll know that is my response for the game in its current stage of development. There's a lot more to go, but at least we know it's really cool. I'm getting those kinds of vibes from Exoborne, except we don't have the gameplay yet. So now let's get into the details, and we actually have a lot here to talk about. It's open world vertical extraction shooter on Unreal 5 with not post-apocalyptic environment, but the world is, again, literally falling apart, and is brought to life by the core team that developed The Division, making sure that part's clear. So in their own words, this new IP, Exoborne, is a tactical open world extraction shooter playable on both PC and console on Unreal 5, and is the most ambitious project of the studio. The game is set in Colton County, USA, in a broken and devastated world where players have to fight within big maps torn apart by forces of nature, storms, cyclones, etc. A little bit of Hazard Zone vibes, but again, this is its own IP. This isn't an afterthought, so a little bit different. The characters will be equipped with exo rigs, futuristic exoskeletons, allowing them to jump high and use special abilities. A lot of weapons will be available and customizable as well. Those of you guys that have been checking out the finals, I know a lot of you guys have been telling me to check out the finals and actually cover the finals. Not going to do that. It's not an extraction shooter. It's not really the basis of what I do on the channel, but a big thing with the finals is the movement. I'm getting some of the vibes from that. I mean, we all know what exosuit movement looks like, so big time similar vibes with what's going on here with Exoborne. Each game will feature PvE and PvP elements, but the game will always be PvP enabled. There will also be PvE/VP mechanics. Exoborne is intended to be accessible. It is easy to get into, but hard to master. The game will have co-op missions, public events in multiplayer, and can be played solo or in a team of up to 3. The game has crafting mechanics with weapons, and players will have constant progression by handling their arsenal and upgrading it. You're also going to be able to count on allies, NPCs, who will help with this. The exo rigs will cater to different playstyles and how you approach each situation and gunfight. They unlock powerful abilities as well, not only enhancing vertical movement, but also the raw powers of nature to your advantage when chosen wisely. This sounds like some some potential airbender stuff. We're gonna have to see what's going on with that. But also when we look at the trailer, there were like hang gliders and parachutes and stuff like that. So that's probably part of it. Maybe you have like some wingsuit stuff going on. Still a lot of questions when it comes to stuff around the gameplay because we haven't seen it yet. How each player approaches the game will affect how PvP or PvE heavy each game will be. This will cater to all unique play styles and sets Exoborne apart from other games in the genre. Now, as we all know, you can't half-ass two things, you gotta whole-ass one thing. So we'll have to see which is getting whole-assed in this game. But again, that can only ever really be defined by the players, because as we can see with Escape from Tarkov, heavy PvE, heavy PvP, but the PvP is really what defines you surviving that raid. If you're trying to just get out, but being hunted by a squad of players, you've got a PvP significant situation on your hands. Vehicles are also part of the game, but more information will be shared at later parts of the launch, while there are other modes of transportation that will make traversing the game unique. According to SharkMob, Exoborne will feature some of the most unique vertical gameplay in the industry. The narrative of the game is important as a proper world has been built with interactions and connections between the lore affecting the game. Insert your decisions mean something here meme. The world is torn apart and nature behaves unlike anything that we can expect. Man-made structures and the land itself will be affected heavily by the elements. So maybe we're looking at some levolution or something like that. We'll have to see what happens. Each game will be unique as the type and interaction of these weather pushes changes. So even if the location is the same, the weather effects will change the fight or activity that you have there. Can't really fight in that building if the building's taken down or something like that. According to SharkMob, long-term progression of the game will be unique and not like other games in the genre, with crafting gear, weapons are upgradable, craftable, customizable, and feature a large amount of variation. You can change the way that your character looks to fit your preference as well. Public events and missions raise the stakes and opportunities, allowing you to choose your own challenges, getting big time Division vibes from that. And then also, like, if you guys have played games like Destiny, gonna be a lot of stuff that's gonna be popping up. Maybe you're on your way to do a specific objective, but something else pops up on the side. Honestly, I love that kind of stuff. And with it being open world, it sounds right up that alley. So hope that ends up being interesting and not just, you know, shoot the same guy 50 times to get the same reward 50 times. Crafting and customizing enables you to take your own path within the game by exploring the world with new gear and equipment of your choosing. From the trailer and from the artwork that we've seen off of Steam and off the website, it does seem like they're going the variety route when it comes with the weapons. I'm not seeing the same weapon over and over. It's not the same rifle. It's not the same shotgun. Sometimes you'll catch that with artwork this early in the development, or at least in the amount of information that they're giving us here, which is pretty telling sometimes, but we're seeing a pretty good variety. Extraction gameplay gives you the opportunity to risk it all for greater rewards or play it safe. In the end, the choice is up to you. This is going to be the make or break. Do they, as a AAA studio, actually deliver on the risk reward? I'll talk about this more at the end. A quote-unquote thrilling storyline holds many secrets for you to uncover and evolve as you progress through the game. Those of us doing the ARS might be interested in that. We'll see what's happening with that. Now, based off the information that you can get off the Steam page, it talks about warring factions, so it sounds like there might be a similar dynamic to the gangs from the Division and the bosses in Tarkov, where maybe there will be regions and areas controlled by certain factions. Maybe there's going to be some that you want to like buddy up with, and they'll have new missions for you and stuff like that. Definitely something I was glad to hear about, especially where there's PvE action in the game. It also confirms looting players, specifically saying, quote, go forth and find what you need or loot it off of other players you've defeated, end quote. We'll see how deep that loot goes, whether it also be the variety of things, but also, you know, is there going to be some safe pockets and prison wallets, you know, stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and assume there's going to be options for being able to keep stuff safe. We'll see how they handle that part of the game. But need to be clear, I haven't seen anything to point to that directly, just something that we have seen repeatedly with extraction shooters, especially from AAA studios. Also, while we're on that subject, I'm also going to, again, assume, without getting anything confirmed from SharkMob, there will be a store, there will be cosmetics, another thing we're going to need to keep a close eye on. Then again, from the Steam page, it says, quote, extraction unleashed. Getting in is easy, getting out with the goods, not so much. If you're new to the genre, you can find your feet before tackling the biggest challenges. For seasoned veterans, the unique combination of extreme forces of nature, verticality, and a wide choice of playstyles will make sure the thrills keep coming. And again, we'll have to see if they deliver on that, especially since we haven't seen any gameplay yet. To wrap this up, I'm going to go over the importance of risk reward. Now, Clean, Landmark, and I actually had a long conversation about this past week at the Range Day in Texas. You can see some of that stuff over on my Twitter if you're interested. But after that discussion, I want to at least think we agreed there is a formula out there where it doesn't matter who, what, where, or why you are doing something in an extraction shooter. To make it good, it really just needs that risk to reward. It doesn't matter what universe you're in. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you're shooting or anything. If you really feel like you are risking something you actually value, you can choose to give up or leave or risk it even more at any point, and then use that effectively to get a genuine, real reward that you can not only feel good about, but great. That is the secret sauce. However, it takes a lot of support and gameplay to foster that, of which we've heard a lot about, but not seen. Until then, I'm going to keep my eye on Exoborne and any other promising extraction shooters, as well as keep you guys up to date on it. Which, if you're already interested, link in the description for the Steam page and Discord for Exoborne. If you guys are interested, thanks again to SharkMob for sponsoring this video. To support what I do, click the buttons on the screen, sub for more, check out my other channels for other games right here. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.